bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Welcome to the Venue Expression Show, the place where we learn how to find, to build, and to express positive self-thought. Here, all we talk about is how you can build positive self-thought, because I believe that whatever you think of yourself should be the key, not what people think about. So you're all welcome.
Around you, from a distance you can tell.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Yes, let me clear the table for our first speaker for today. Yes, join me everyone. Let's welcome my lady. This amazing special lady. Yes, you're welcome. Yes, Lady Tracy, so good to have you join us today. I'm super excited you could come.
Yes.
Thank you. I
I'm
know
super excited to be here.
uh, good to have you. Good to have you. I know it's still morning at your end, so I would say good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, welcome. Lady Tracy is an amazing personality. I followed her platform and she's doing amazing things and she's changing lives. And like I said in her profile, she's one person that if you're talking about a lady on a mission, you need to see her. And I'm happy that you have all the opportunities today to relate with her. So prepare your questions as she's talking, whatever you want to learn from her. Just feel free to drop it in the comment box and we're going to share it with her. All right. My lady, you're welcome. You're welcome once again. All right. So before I leave the platform for you, I'll just share a little about your profile while you tell us more about you later. For now, Lady Tracy is, let me call her full name, Tracy Macaulay. She's a self-love coach, an advanced professional Christian life coach who believes in the power of self-acceptance. My thing. Self-love, true wellness, self-inquiry, and personal transformation. See, she has helped hundreds of moms, women, and teens develop life skills and overcome hurt, shame, and guilt by learning to cope with fear and anxiety. I think it's long, and I'm just going to just make it brief from here. So you can see that she's not just an ordinary person, but someone who is experienced and who is ready to share her heart, because she has helped moms, she's helped, once you have helped a lady, you have helped the entire world. I don't know if you know that. Once you have helped a lady, you have helped the whole world. And she has helped moms, women, teens. Thank you so much
Yes.
for agreeing to share with us today. You're welcome. Please share more about you that we do not know already, and then tell us what portraying a worthy self-image really means to you. The platform is yours, ma'am.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for just inviting me to be a part of this platform. Can you all hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
I'm always honored whenever I have an opportunity to speak, to share what my experience and just what God has put on my heart to share, and hopefully it will bless somebody's life. Like Benita said, I am a self-love coach. I'm also a motivational speaker and author. I've written 2 books. One of them is a memoir about my experience with domestic violence and some other strongholds that tried to prevent me from walking in my true the true version of myself that God created me to be. And the other one is actually a journal. It's called Love You, Embrace You Journal, which it actually helps you be able to be more intentional about using those I am statements so that you can speak out of your mouth what you want. And so I am just passionate again about helping women in particularly, but anyone that I can motivate and inspire to love the person that they see in the mirror. As you can see, I have my Embrace the Woman in the Mirror t-shirt on. That is my motto. Embrace every part of the woman that you were created to be. I was not always that way. There were some things in my life that kept me from loving and embracing the woman that I truly am. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Again, I'm super excited to be here and just to share what I have about the portraying a worthy self-image. It's so important, so important. So as I was preparing for this presentation, I came across this quote, and I am what I like to see or view as the queen of quotes, because as I was going on my journey of self-love and really understanding who I was, I started collecting quotes. And I have like a quote, what I call the quote Bible, a lot of different quotes to help motivate me and help me learn to love myself. And so this quotes read, "It's not who you are that holds you back." Excuse me. "It's who you think you are not." I'm gonna read that again.
Yeah.
"It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you are not."
True.
So many times we get caught up in what other people think about us, what they're saying about us. We get that image from our society and from other people about who we are supposed to be, not realizing that what we think, those thoughts that we think about ourselves, is what really, really matters. Now, on average, this is where my research comes in. On average, research tells us that we get anywhere between about 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts every single day. Between 12,000 and 60,000. That's a lot of thoughts, right? And of course, other research says, they have other numbers. It says more than 6,000 thoughts a day. But either way, it's a lot of thoughts that we get. And the majority of those thoughts are negative thoughts. About 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts. And then about 95% of those thoughts are repetitive thoughts, which means those are the thoughts that we had the day before. And so what happens is we're thinking about those thoughts, those negative thoughts, and those things get stuck in our subconscious mind. And what happens is we start to act, we start to operate on those subconsciously, act on those thoughts, those negative thoughts.
Yes.
So self-image, again, Benita, she gave us a good overview about self-image and what it is, but it is the idea one has of one's abilities, appearance, and personality. So those things that I think whenever I look in that mirror, those things that I think about myself, how I see myself, my appearance,
yes,
how I think about my abilities, the things that I can do. and my personality, how I come across. But self-image is also about what I believe others think about me. So it's like twofold, I'll say.
Yes.
It's about the physical, your physical view, what you see, how you look, how my nose is made, my eyes, my cheekbones, my teeth, my mouth, that physical view of what I see, that reflection that I see in the mirror. And then it's also about the inner view. Those things that I think about, my abilities, what I feel like I can do or what I can't do. So it's twofold. So I had a distorted view for so many years of who I was, what I saw, and what my abilities were. My view was distorted. It all started back when I was in the 3rd grade. I was in the 3rd grade and I didn't really understand who I was back then. I was in the 3rd grade and I was having problems with my learning skills. I had problems comprehending. I had problems understanding the work. I had problems really understanding what to do in the classroom. Now, I was a very, very hyper child back then, and I won't disclose my age, but way back then, it wasn't a diagnosis for me, but I was ADD, ADHD actually. I couldn't be still. I would run to get everything. I can remember my grandmother telling me that I can't, sit still for a moment. Every time she asked me to do something, I ran to do it. I ran to get whatever it is she was asking me to get. So I was hyper. And in the 3rd grade, I had problems concentrating. I had problems with paying attention, with focusing on my classwork. I felt like I was stupid and dumb. I felt like something was wrong with me. And as a result of not being able to comprehend and not being able to understand my work, I failed. I failed. I was held back in the 3rd grade. And I was devastated. That made me feel even more dumb and stupid. It made me feel like I was not capable of learning. Yeah, I was bullied by the students, name called. I ended up having to be placed in resource classes. And that stuck with me for years. It stuck with me all through my education, all through my elementary years. Now, I did not fail another grade. It actually, it did something to me to motivate me to keep, doing what I was supposed to do so that I could pass. But it still made me feel like there was something wrong with me. That carried throughout my life. Fast forward to when I went to college. I ended up going to college, but I was an average, like a C average student all through my, high school years. Still having to go to resource classes, feeling stupid, feeling dumb. And I didn't like my appearance. I had a problem with how I looked. I felt like my nose was too wide. I had a gap in my tooth, and that made me feel like I was ugly, like I was not attractive, like no one would ever like me, would ever think that I was beautiful or make me feel like I was beautiful. So I had all of these distorted images about my appearance as well as my abilities. And so whenever I was in college, my undergrad, I was able to make it to college. That's another story because I was motivated by what they said. But I was able to make it to college, and I can remember my first year there. we had these study groups that we had to be a part of. And I was in this study group, and the study group was a group where we worked together, we did projects together, and we had to remain in the study group, excuse me, throughout the remainder of our time in the 2-3 year college program. I can remember this group. They decided that they didn't want me to be in that group anymore because they didn't feel like I was doing my part. They didn't feel like I was carrying my weight. And I can remember our last project. So they had already talked to the dean about removing me from that group because I wasn't doing my part. And I can remember them, us having this project. It was a presentation that we all had to do. So we all had a part within this project that we had to do. And I can remember whenever it got to my part and I had to stand up and do my part, I can remember feeling so defeated. I had to go ahead and stand up and do my part, but standing up there, I can remember the images that I had of myself. I felt like I was stupid. I felt like I was dumb. Those subconscious negative thoughts that had gotten into my subconscious mind, they started showing up like never before. And the fact that I was thinking about how they viewed me. They had already told on me, had already said that they didn't want me to be in this group. And so I was standing up there trying to do my best to present what I had to present, thinking that I was stupid, I was dumb, and thinking about what they said about me. All of those feelings. I didn't believe that I was capable based on what they said and based on some of the things that I had experienced in my childhood with my education, with failing the 3rd grade. All of those things came back to me in that moment. I was operating from a place that that was in my subconscious. And I bombed. So one of the things that I learned out of that is, I was focused more on how they saw me rather than who I was, which I didn't really know who I was at the time. But I was so focused on them. I was so focused on what they said and what they thought that I wasn't really working on building my self-conscious, building up my self-esteem and really, really getting to a place where I understood who I really was. So fast forward. So whenever I finally got to a place.
Anyone here?
Yeah, we can hear.
Can everyone
hear you?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So whenever I finally got to a place to where I wanted to make some changes in my life, I wanted to be a better me. And whenever I finally discovered that I really, really had been wearing a mask all of my life based on the things that I experienced in my childhood, not really loving myself, failing the 3rd grade, and even the things that they carried on into my adult life. I wanted to do better. I wanted to do better for myself, and I wanted to be a person that could help other women that may have experienced the things that I experienced, not loving yourself and having a poor self-image. I got to a place where I was discovering some things about who I wanted to be. And so these are some things that helped me. These are some things that I started doing. First of all, I had to identify who I was. And for me, my higher power is God. Yes. And so it was important for me to make sure that I understood who did God say I was. I mean, He created me, and started really understanding that I was created in His image. So, and that he does not do anything wrong. He doesn't make any junk. He doesn't
Yes,
make any
yes.
dumb people.
No, no, no,
He
he
doesn't make
doesn't.
any stupid people. And so what I did,
Mhm.
once I realized that my learning disability, that's what it was, I started using that learning disability to my advantage, because I knew that God had placed that thing in me. So I turned it around and I started to use what I thought was a weakness was actually a strength.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, the things, if you're in a place where you want to improve your self-image, some things that may be helpful for you, things that I did was first understanding, acknowledging, and trying to understand who you are. Who were you created to be? Who are you? And what is your purpose? Identifying your beliefs was another thing that was important for me. What is that belief that I have about myself, and what is contrary to that belief about myself? So
Yeah.
identifying your belief system and where did it come from? The other thing was understanding, and well, I said understanding who you are, but the other thing, reprogramming your mind. I mentioned earlier about the fact that I collect quotes, I mean, and scriptures as well, but reprogramming what I thought about me. That was a big thing for me. I talked about my journal, the Love You, Embrace You journal, where we are intentional about those I am statements. I had to do something. I had to be intentional about changing what I thought about me. And so one of the things that I've done is every single day, I say, I am beautiful. I am smart. I am capable, using those I am statements on a daily basis, sometimes hourly basis. We talked about those thoughts. Remember when I said earlier about those thoughts that we get, those negative thoughts that we get? Automatically, we're going to get those negative thoughts. What are you saying to reprogram your mind? Because those thoughts are going to come.
Yes.
They're going to come regardless. And so it's important for us to do something. I'm not going to just let those negative thoughts just come and play around in my head. No, I'm going to speak out of my mouth using those I am statements.
Yes.
Those negative comments that come, I'm going to say, no, I am smart. No, I am capable. No,
Yes.
I am chosen. And I'm not going to allow those negative thoughts to continue to play around in my head, because again, what they're going to do is get in your subconscious. You're going to start acting on those thoughts, those negative thoughts. And so what I want to leave you with, a question to ponder. What will you do to embrace every part of the person you see in the mirror in order to operate in the truest version of who you were created to be? I know that's a long, loaded question, but I'm going to read it one more time. I want you to ponder. I want you to think about this, because it is my hope that you learn how to embrace every part of who you were created to be. So what will you do moving forward from this day forward to embrace every part of the person you see in the mirror in order to operate in the truest version of who you were created to be? Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wow.
This time.
Wow, 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 wow. That was awesome. That's so great.
Yeah.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth.